As you kept digging, the connections deepened. Several high-performing videos with titles like Fastest Weight Loss at Home and Intense 5-Day Belly Burn were cross-referenced with affiliate codes leading back to the same two supplement companies, both owned by the same shell corporation. That corporation, quietly funded by a data analytics firm specializing in viewer psychology and engagement manipulation. They weren't interested in fitness. They were interested in predictability. How long does it take before a viewer gives up? How many sessions of false hope are needed before they click? Try again tomorrow. The move you were doing wrong wasn't a simple mistake. It was engineered. A trap disguised as a trend. A viral tactic camouflaged as a workout. Meanwhile, in the subplot involving the physiotherapist, the pattern of injuries had spread beyond home workouts. Gyms were now reporting similar issues in clients who had ditched personal trainers in favor of YouTube routines. A disturbing new syndrome was emerging. Abdominal rigidity paired with spinal misalignment, a condition rarely seen outside of advanced athletes, now affecting everyday users. It was dubbed core crash syndrome by one clinic unofficially, because no governing body was ready to admit it even existed. But the whispers grew louder. Users began posting anonymously on forums, describing identical symptoms: tightness, fatigue, stomach bloating post-workout, even numbness in the lower spine. These weren't isolated complaints. They were echoing across the country, and nobody mainstream was acknowledging it. Then, another unexpected turn. DM resurfaced. Not on YouTube, not on Instagram, but buried within the code of a recently updated fitness tracking app. A user discovered a strange message embedded in the app's update notes, encrypted but unlocked with the right string of keywords: 10 minutes workout, belly fat fast, and a routine mistake. When decoded, the message read: if you found this, you've seen the pattern. They'll blame your body. Don't believe them. It's not you, it's the method. From their chaos, major channels quietly deleting or re-editing their most popular videos. Influencers claiming they were rebranding or pivoting to wellness. Some doubled down, launching challenges with even more aggressive titles: burn fat like crazy, zero equipment shred, flatten your tummy now, targeting the same high-traffic keywords, but this time with even less explanation, less transparency. It became clear. Either they were in on it or they were scared. Now the stakes were higher than ever. The character you've been following had started documenting the evidence, building a private site with mirrored versions of the banned videos, expert interviews, and a live counter tracking new cases of core crash syndrome. But just days before the planned release, their IP address was flagged. Their uploads were throttled. Their backup account vanished. Someone was watching. Someone who didn't want the truth to come out. And you, sitting here watching this story unfold, are now part of it. Because once you start asking the right questions, once you realize the answer you've been searching for might have been manipulated from the start, you can't unsee it. So now we wait. At the edge of a digital cliff. Because the next move, the final reveal, is coming. And when it does, it won't just change the way you work out. It will change the way you trust what you see. Forever. You said. Absolutely, I understand exactly what you're aiming for. A high-impact movie-style thumbnail prompt that will visually arrest your viewers and compel them to click. Once you send me the title, I'll craft a thumbnail generation prompt for you, designed to include all the key characters suggested by the title. An aggressive, emotionally intense vibe. Strong composition and color contrast. Popular visual triggers, e.g., fire, shadowy figures, glitch effects, broken mirrors, red warning icons, etc. An atmosphere of mystery, urgency, and high stakes. A design that feels like, you must watch this before scrolling. I'll also include emotional cues and subtle YouTube trends, like close-ups, motion blur, over-the-top reactions, etc., that help boost click-through and retention. Once you send me the title, I'll handle the rest. Ready when you are. You've probably been doing this one workout move for years, at the gym, in your living room, maybe even from your favorite fitness influencer's routine. And you thought it was helping you burn fat, tone up, and get stronger. But what if I told you that the very move you've trusted all this time is secretly holding you back? Worse, What if it's actually doing more harm than good? Stay with me because by the end of this story, you're not just going to find out what this workout mistake is. You're going to understand exactly why it's sabotaging your results and how to fix it once and for all. Right now, you're not watching another basic fitness video. You're entering a real story, one that'll pull you behind the scenes of what's really happening inside your body every time you repeat this common move, and how a small shift could unlock the transformation you've been chasing for years. I know you're tired of trying workout after workout, chasing those before and after results that never come. I know you're smart. You've been researching, watching videos, following routines, doing everything right. But there's one brutal truth that no one's telling you, and it's the reason why your belly fat won't budge, your progress is stalled, and your motivation is slipping. In this story, we follow someone who made the same mistake, day after day, thinking they were crushing their goals. But the signs were subtle at first. The fatigue that didn't go away, the stiffness that felt off, the bloating after workouts. Until something happened that forced them to look deeper, and what they uncovered changed everything they believed about fitness. You're not here by accident. You clicked for a reason, and I promise the answer you're looking for is here. But if you skip ahead, you'll miss the truth hidden between the obvious steps, the subtle clues that will make all the difference. Because this isn't just about one wrong workout move. It's about how our bodies really respond to training, and why 99% of people never reach their full potential. So don't blink, because the moment everything starts to unravel is just seconds away. And when it does, it's going to flip everything you thought you knew on its head. It started with a whisper, barely noticeable at first. A dull ache deep in the core, brushed off as soreness from pushing harder than usual. A wince while bending down, a strange tightness the morning after a simple routine. But for someone who had dedicated the last 6 months to perfecting a clean, home-based workout plan, filled with trending YouTube fitness challenges, 10-minute fat-burning circuits, and non-stop planks, it didn't make sense. Everything should have been getting easier. The body should have been getting leaner, stronger, more defined. And yet, things weren't adding up. The mirror didn't reflect the progress promised by all those 5-day belly fat burners and quick core fix routines. There were days when the scale refused to budge, others when the bloating got worse right after a workout. The fatigue felt heavier, the results non-existent, and the frustration palpable. That's when the questions started, quiet at first like background static, until one night while scrolling through the top fitness influencers on YouTube, something jumped out. It was a split-second frame from a viral day in my workout life video. One move stood out. Familiar. Repeated. The same one used daily, religiously, almost obsessively. But in this video, the trainer was warning viewers not to overuse it. And just like that, the seed of doubt was planted. The character behind this story, someone who had poured hours into fat loss training plans and muscle toning regimens, started digging deeper. Let's call them you, because this story could just as easily be yours. You, the dedicated viewer who never misses a Monday workout. You who tried lose belly fat in 5 days routines, high-intensity interval training, 30-minute full-body sculpt workouts. All those trending results guaranteed workouts dominating your For You page and homepage. You've got the gear, the yoga mat, the adjustable dumbbells. You even memorized the exact calorie counts of your protein shake. But none of it matters when something's off at the foundation. What if the very move at the center of your training, those endless crunches, the planks, the mountain climbers, the Russian twists, what if one of them was breaking your body down in ways you couldn't see? The truth isn't in the sweat. It's in what happens after. And that's where this story begins to unfold. It wasn't just about a workout move anymore. The mystery grew darker when more people started noticing the same strange symptoms. Across forums, under YouTube shorts, and in Reddit threads buried beneath algorithm-approved content, there were whispers from real users. Why am I getting lower back pain after doing this fat burn routine? Anyone else feel weird pressure in their abdomen after ab circuits? Been doing these 10-minute workouts every morning. Why am I more bloated now? The voices got louder, the stories eerily similar. And yet, mainstream fitness creators brushed it off. The analytics didn't lie. Those routines were generating millions of views. Titles like "Flatten Your Stomach in a Week," lose weight fast at home, core shred challenge, filled search results. But what if that popularity was part of the trap? As the story dives deeper, a second character begins to take shape. Someone working behind the scenes of a massive YouTube fitness empire. A programmer turned performance consultant, known online only by the initials DM, who had access to metadata, user feedback, drop-off points, and the psychological tools used to keep viewers hooked through every burpee and lunge. DM wasn't a fitness guru. They were a pattern hunter. And what they found buried in hours of footage and user testimonials made them reach out anonymously. Through a locked comment on a shadow ban video, they left a chilling message. It's not just about what you're doing wrong. It's about what they don't want you to know you're doing right. You'd think that'd be the climax. But it was only the start. Because the person in this story, again maybe you, took that message seriously. They began retracing every move, every rep, every sequence from their most watched home workouts. They began comparing popular weight loss routines, analyzing the best 10-minute morning workouts, the at-home blasters, and even the viral TikTok mobility hacks. In every single one, a pattern emerged. The same 3 or 4 moves. Branded differently, paced differently, but always there. Always present. It was almost like the algorithm itself was pushing them. But why? Was it just coincidence? Or was there something else buried deeper? Something that had to do with the way certain movements affected cortisol, bloating, and water retention. Something that explained why thousands were stuck in cycles of plateau. What if the algorithm's favorite workouts weren't designed to help you succeed, but to keep you needing more? Because if a move can fatigue your system just enough to make progress look like it's happening, but not actually occur, then the need for new routines never ends. You keep searching, you keep clicking, and the ad revenue keeps flowing. Meanwhile, in another part of the country, a physiotherapist running a small private clinic started noticing a spike in injuries. Micro tears, inflammation, even long-term digestive discomfort. All traced back to DIY fitness plans pulled from YouTube, especially those promising fast belly fat loss. When they started interviewing clients, a shocking detail kept resurfacing. They were all doing the same exercises, the same order, the same breathing techniques, the same plank variations. And most had no idea they were doing them incorrectly, because the tutorials themselves never warned about the risks when repeated daily without variation. Back in the story, as the original character began connecting with others, real users, trainers, even skeptical experts, something much bigger emerged. This wasn't just about fat loss. It was about how fitness content is consumed, how trends are manipulated, and how the definition of doing it right has been distorted by views, not by results. The person at the heart of this story wasn't a victim. They were becoming an investigator, a reluctant whistleblower, someone willing to challenge what the entire YouTube fitness world told them to accept as truth. But before they could go public, before they could piece together the final clue that linked the flawed move to a physiological chain reaction affecting digestion, posture, sleep, and long-term progress, they disappeared from their online profile. No updates, no comments. Their playlists were wiped. The transformation journey they'd documented for months. Only a pinned message remained under one of their oldest workout videos. If you feel worse after getting fitter, you're not crazy. Keep watching. The real story is just beginning. And that's where we leave it for now. Because something's about to break. A secret tucked between views and reps. A truth you thought you knew about your body. About your workouts. About your goals. But if you want to know what really happens when you follow the fitness routine everyone swears by, the one you've been doing wrong this whole time, you'll need to stay with this story. Because the next revelation, it changes everything. Weeks passed, and the silence surrounding the missing fitness enthusiast, once active, once transparent, grew deafening. People who had followed their journey, watched their home workouts religiously, and mimicked every fat-burning challenge they posted, began posting comments asking where they'd gone. But no one had answers. The few posts left behind were vague, cryptic, almost like warnings rather than goodbyes. One video simply titled, "The Move You Should Stop Doing Today," had been set to private, and when someone re-uploaded a screen-recorded version to another platform, it was immediately taken down for misleading health information. That was the first real red flag. Why would a simple workout critique trigger such aggressive censorship? At this point, our main character, already suspicious and obsessively tracking fitness trends across TikTok and YouTube Shorts, began digging deeper. Not just into the workouts themselves, but into the creators, the brands backing them, and the algorithms that decided which videos blew up and which ones disappeared. And what they found wasn't just about exercise. It was about control. Everything seemed to revolve around one central pattern. The promise of extreme results with minimal effort. 10-minute workouts to lose belly fat, 5-day shred challenges, body transformation at home in 1 week. The content was aggressively pushed to users searching for terms like fastest way to lose weight, belly fat workout, flat stomach in a week, and no equipment fat loss. The engagement was massive, and the comments full of desperate hope. But when you filtered through the noise, a quiet pattern emerged. Comments from users reporting that they didn't feel right. Headaches, gut issues, insomnia, joint pain. These weren't side effects anyone was talking about. In fact, most creators completely ignored them, chalking them up to your body adjusting or detox symptoms. But there was nothing normal about it. Especially not when the same symptoms were showing up in over 30 different channels, all using similar language and structure in their content. The second subplot, centered around DM, the anonymous former insider, began to unravel in parallel. Through encrypted messages and heavily redacted emails obtained from an underground fitness community, more pieces of the puzzle were exposed. DM hadn't just worked on data analytics. They were part of a team contracted by a digital fitness network, an umbrella group that quietly owned or backed dozens of popular channels without ever disclosing it. The group's mission: simple, keep viewers watching. Not getting better. Not getting stronger. Just watching. Because time spent in progress meant less time in consumption. But plateaus. Fatigue. Chronic inflammation that could be spun as temporary pain for long-term gain. That kept people coming back for more. That kept the ad dollars rolling in. Every trending lose belly fat in 5 days video was a hook. Every at-home ab workout was a funnel. And buried in the recommended algorithms were the same subtle cues that brought users back to the very moves that were failing them, over and over again. Then came the twist, so sudden it shattered the pattern entirely. One of the lesser-known creators, someone whose videos rarely cracked 10K views, posted a confession video. In it, she detailed how her meteoric rise, nearly 2 million followers in under 6 months, wasn't organic. She had been approached after one of her 10-minute brutal morning workout clips started trending. A representative from a content optimization group offered her a deal. Stick to a fixed set of movements, use pre-written scripts that emphasize specific keywords, and include at least one variation of the pelvic crunch lift combo in every routine. The reps were designed to maximize algorithm engagement, not user success. The keyword targeting was precise: belly fat workout, quick results, home exercise routine, no equipment weight loss. And the results? Predictable. Massive traffic. Low retention. High confusion. When she tried to change her content, even slightly, offering a slower mobility-based series to counteract joint pain, her views tanked. Then came the warning email. Stick to the format. You're here to motivate, not educate. The implications hit hard. It wasn't just one move being done wrong. It was an entire system built around making that mistake unavoidable. The character at the heart of this story, let's still call them you, because now more than ever, this could be you, was now fully entangled in a conspiracy far beyond bad form or poor instruction. It was about how millions of viewers were being subtly conditioned to accept pain, confusion, and failure as part of the fitness process. Not because it was true, but because it was profitable.